Do you agree with the pardon of CZ, the founder of Binance, who helped funnel money into Moss? Do you agree with the pardon?
There's no question that Donald Trump has been,
thing. There's no question
that Donald Trump has been pro-crypto.
Uniquely
he
corrupt.
ran on saying,
it's not
I'm pro-crypto. We're going to pass the Genius Act, which they did.
Yeah.
We're going to deregulate crypto. We're going to have crypto.
Yeah.
We're going to be the
rich as hell.
Adam Mockler appeared as a guest on Abby Phillip's show, where he faced off against a far-right MAGA supporter with a beard in a heated debate over Donald Trump's corruption. We're going to break down some of the best moments from that panel, which also featured Joe Belli, Ashley Allison, and others. I also have a few thoughts of my own that I want to share along the way, so let's jump in and watch it together.
Well, tonight, what would those same people call Donald Trump and his family? Because we're learning just how much richer the presidency is making Trump. According to a new financial disclosure, the president made more than $1 billion in his first year of back in office from crypto ventures alone. He made more than $500 million from the sales of tokens tied to firms managed in part by his sons, and another $635 million from a licensing agreement with Celebration Coins. And even Mar-a-Lago earned him more than $70 million in that 1 year. According to the New York Times, one of his biggest hauls in 2025 came when an investment firm tied to the United Arab Emirates bought nearly half of the Trump family's main crypto company, World Liberty Financial, a transaction that blurs the lines between foreign policy and private enterprise. Now, the scope and the scale of Trump's holdings continues an unprecedented streak of profit-making for a sitting president. But while the White House denies any conflicts of interest, Trump has promoted businesses and policies that stand to benefit him and his family, particularly in the area of crypto. Now, before we open it up to the table here, I want to invite you at home to join this debate. Go to cnn.com/Abby and weigh in, and we'll get to some of your comments throughout the show. But let's start with the billions of dollars that Trump has made in just 1 year. It's an astounding amount of money, Joe. And I wonder how you justify that after all the years of Republicans making a huge issue out of Hunter Biden, making perhaps let's be generous, $4 or $5 million.
Well, it's not the dollar amount per se. It's the potential quid pro quo. It's also a chain of emails that were found on his laptop, essentially saying put 10% aside for the big guy, meaning the person in office, the person who's covered by conflict of interest laws, the person who's covered by public officers law, not necessarily Hunter Biden himself. There is a differentiator. There's a difference there.
So that's, let's say that that's all true. So are you concerned about Donald Trump, literally on paper, he disclosed it, making over $1 billion just from crypto alone, including a transaction that involves a foreign nation, that he is literally right now, as we speak, involved in very delicate negotiations on behalf of the United States when it comes to the war that's going on in the Middle East?
We should all be concerned about people in public office profiting off their office. That's why there is disclosure.
So are you concerned?
Trump's disclosure was 927 pages. He's one of the top 1% wealthiest Americans.
So are you concerned?
That's not a secret. I'm not a secret because I can look at the document and see what's there. We're talking about it right now.
Are you concerned about how much money Trump has raked in 1 year?
Am I concerned with a billionaire making more billions on more money? No, I'm not. In fact, look, nobody, let me just sum up. Nobody who voted for Donald Trump, a guy with skyscrapers with his name on it, with a plane that has his name on it, is suspect of him making money. That's not the problem.
Let me get this straight.
He made his whole career talking about how much money he made.
Donald Trump, in the year before he was president, 2024, made, let's call it an eighth. It's a fraction of it. It's like about $500-600 million in total in 2024. Now we're looking at billions of dollars. So the amount of money that the president has raked in while sitting in the White House is beyond anything that I think people can even conceptualize. We are talking about billions of dollars.
You're using innuendo and conjecture to say there's something nefarious. There's no actual evidence.
It's actually just a fact that the only thing that's changed about Donald Trump is that he's president now.
Joe, you make a great politician, weaving.
Before we get to Adam Mockler's part, I want to point something out. The MAGA supporter, Joe Belli, says he's very concerned about politicians making money while they're in office. Then Abby Phillip asks him if that concern also applies to Donald Trump. Of course it doesn't, because we're talking about Donald Trump. If the conversation were about Joe Biden, he'd have no problem saying he's worried about Joe Biden making money while in office. He'd even bring up Hunter Biden, even though Hunter Biden never held public office. But when it's Donald Trump, suddenly none of it seems to matter because, in his mind, Trump is already wealthy, so he doesn't care. It honestly makes no sense. I say this all the time on my show. They're completely immune to hypocrisy. Abby Phillip tries to point out the obvious double standard in what he's saying, but it doesn't make any difference. He just brushes right past it. Now, let's hear what Adam Mockler had to say.
Weaving around all of these answers. The reality of the situation is Trump is the most corrupt president in American history, and we're not even telling the full story.
Which crime?
I'm glad that you brought up the quid pro quo part, because the part that we're missing is this $2 billion investment from the UAE was facilitated by the founder of Binance, CZ. The founder of Binance was subsequently pardoned by Donald Trump, and Trump has benefited off of this crypto. He leveraged the hype of his inauguration to the day before announce a cryptocurrency named Trump Coin, but that wasn't enough, because then he announced Melania Coin, but that wasn't enough, because then he created this pardon economy where people can pay into his campaigns or his family, and they get directly pardoned. Do you agree with the pardon of CZ, the founder of Binance, who helped funnel money into Moss? Do you agree with the pardon?
There's no question that Donald Trump has been, there's no question that Donald Trump has been pro-crypto.
Uniquely
he
corrupt.
ran on saying,
It's not
I'm pro-crypto. We're going to pass the Genius Act, which they did.
Joe.
We're going to
He's so
deregulate
pro-crypto that
We're
he's
going to have crypto.
making himself rich as hell.
We're going to be the crypto capital
My
of the world.
friend Joe.
It's no
So
surprise
Hunter
that
Biden
he's
is
investing.
pro-painting. Hunter Biden didn't hide the fact that he's pro-painting.
No, Hunter Biden was pardoned
help
for
you,
crimes
Joe.
he may have not committed.
Wait, Donald Trump
That's
has
a different
pardoned
standard. So
thousands
when you
of
talk
people.
about pardons, let's not forget the fact that the previous president had to pardon his son for crimes.
What about
he
the
may
fact
have
that
committed.
he removed terrorists
This
from
president didn't have to
Vietnam?
do that when he left
Joe,
office.
can I just add, okay.
Not yet.
I just have a couple questions. So I don't think that public officials should be making money that on the backs of the American people or using the American interest to make money. Perhaps Hunter Biden did it, and perhaps Donald Trump is doing it. But I actually wonder if the American people actually care. I'm not sure that they do. So if we want to concede the point that they're like, you know what, you're the president, we live in a capitalist society, let's do it. I think my biggest issue is that Americans are suffering right now, and he just made $1 billion. And so the people who voted for him, I just want to ask them, did you make $1 billion? Did you make $1 million? Did you make 100,000?
That's a great
Did you make
political argument. It's a fair
$10,000?
political
Did you make
argument,
1,000? Or are you in debt right now? And if you're in debt right now, the man in the White House is profiting off of you. And that is my biggest issue. The corruption is there, but I'm not sure the voters care about that. But I do think the voters care about them suffering while this man gets rich on their.
Ashley Allison is absolutely right. And I also agree that Trump has been making money off the American people. It feels like he's taking a cut everywhere he possibly can. Years from now, there will still be books, investigations, and countless stories uncovering new examples of the corruption that happened while Trump was in office. When Adam Mockler tells Joe Belli, the MAGA supporter, that this is the most corrupt presidency in modern history, it's hard to argue there's anything else that comes close. Donald Trump has reportedly benefited financially from being in office on a scale we've never seen before. So when Joe Belli claims he's deeply concerned about politicians making money while serving in office, it completely falls apart. Because if that were really true, Donald Trump would be his biggest concern. He's the first person he should be talking about. But what always stands out to me, and I wish Adam Mockler, Abby Phillip, or someone else on that panel would point it out more directly, is how every single discussion eventually turns into, yeah, but what about Biden? They could honestly put that on a title card because it's the same response every time.